Welcome to Webinar Wednesday. I'm so happy you're able to join us. There are resources to check out in the chat box and also an opportunity to ask questions there. If you're listening to the recording of this webinar, the resources will be listed along with the recording, so you can find them there as well. And I invite you to come back and find this recording in a couple of days if you want to share it with colleagues or use it as a tool for professional development for your staff. We encourage you to do that. Today's webinar is about the landscape of summer programming. No one really knows exactly how many summer learning programs are offered each year in the United States because they're offered by so many different community-based organizations, parks and rec departments, camps, libraries, schools, youth development organizations, museums, zoos, faith-based organizations, colleges, universities, and other public agencies all offer opportunities for youth to participate in summer learning experience. Sometimes they're a one-day experience, a 1 week, or even all summer long. Some are residential, some are day-long experiences. There's just such a wide variety. And we wanted to explore that landscape a little bit with you today and think about how your program fits in the mix. The goal is to help you create a high-quality summer program that really benefits your community by having an important place in this landscape of summer programming. One of the things we want to share with you this week is the resources available to support National Summer Learning Week in July. And there's a lot of resources on their website. The Summer Learning Association is an advocate for summer programming, and this week is set aside to celebrate and elevate the importance of keeping children learning safe and healthy every day of the summer and preparing them so that when they return to school in the fall, they are ready to succeed in the classroom. You can find lots of resources on the website for celebrating summer learnings and also activities that you can use in your program in the arts, in STEM, and in college and career readiness, all important components for a well-rounded program that meets the needs of young people. This is obvious, I know, that summer learning and after-school programs are different, but we want to talk a little bit about what is different between them and how that shapes the experiences. A summer learning program, what I mean by that is a program that's intentionally designed to support youth in building skills, knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors that promote their academic, healthy, and positive youth development. It might not do all of those things, but it is intentional about which of those things the program provides and how it supports young people in their development. In areas of our country with high rates of poverty, summer learning programs are particularly important because they can help narrow the achievement gap and increase rates of high school graduation. So planning a summer learning program that really meets the needs of your community is going to make a difference for the young people in your community and for the welfare of your community as a whole, as more students are able to complete high school and be prepared as young adults when they graduate. A summer learning program is going to differ quite a bit, though, from the programming you do during the rest of the school year. Summer, students typically spend 45 to 50 hours a week in a summer learning program, or can spend that much, as opposed to usually 10 to 15 hours in an after-school program. So the pace is really different in the summer. The days are longer, you spend more time with young people, and the pace can slow down. There's opportunity for lots of different types of experience. You can bring together academic enrichment and fun activities and outdoor activities. Keeping kids physically healthy and physically active will all fit into that summer learning program day. And your program really needs to reflect that summer is different and that the pace is different. Kids can relax and have fun as they're learning in the summertime. Not that they don't have fun in your after-school program as well, But we really do want there to be a difference for them to enjoy their summer break from school and enjoy the time that they're learning in different ways than they do in the school year. Expectations for kids and families are different in the summer too. Parents are very concerned about safety and structure and having lots of different experiences for their children in the summertime. Whereas kids are going to be looking for fun, friendship, and not too much pressure coming from a summer program. When parents and children make the decision together about what type of summer program the children are going to participate in, it's really important that you, as the program planner and developer, help keep both their sets of expectations in mind so that you can provide safety and fun opportunities for friendship and for academic growth all together in one program. This is a typology that describes the landscape of summer programs. Programs are described in very general terms here, just to give us an idea of kind of what the broad picture is and what is typical for each type of operator. I'm going to pause for just a minute and give you a chance to look over the different types of programs described here, because I want you to share ideas in the chat box to add to this list to make it a little bit more inclusive. If you're having trouble reading it, you can make the box on your screen larger by dragging the mouse in the corner, so it'll be a little bit easier to read. I know this is kind of a small font on the side here, so I'll give you just a minute to look at that. Now, are there anything that you really think needs to be on this list that's not quite there? I invite you to share some ideas in the chat box about what you see on the list and what you see that's missing. Some of the things I noticed is programs that focus on academic development or youth development, spiritual, social development, special skills like athletics or music, mission-driven experiences. Often we see these in universities or youth development organizations where the engineering department will offer an engineering camp. Something that's driven by the mission of the organization to give youth a particular type of opportunity. Career exploration is another one that's really not in here, but there are a lot of opportunities, especially for middle school and high school youth, to have some early college experiences or career experiences to help them think about whether they want to pursue education in a particular area. What this typology shows us is there is a lot of variation, that there are a lot of different community partners who are part of providing summer programming. And there can be a wide variety of programs available within your community and types of organizations that offer those programs and experiences. So it's important as you figure out where your program fits into the community that you're aware of what other programs are offered. So finding out what youth organizations like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, YMCA, 4-H, and Boys and Girls Clubs are offering in your community is useful, knowing what the child care centers in your community offer, parks and recreation, libraries, colleges and universities, cultural organizations, museums, and science centers. All of these organizations may be offering programming in the community, but may also be good partners to consider. So take a look at the whole landscape within your community to see where your programming fits into that. Regardless of the type of programming you're offering, we hope that all summer learning programs, and particularly those that are focused on learning, are going to help address the challenges that youth face in terms of summer learning loss. This is an important concern for many families and especially for teachers. And research on summer learning has shown us two things quite clearly. First, there is an achievement gap between children with different social economic backgrounds. And this gap emerges particularly over the summer, and it emerges from different opportunities, from unequal learning opportunities at home and in the community. And lack of opportunities over the summer are the greatest contributor to the learning gap between children from middle class or higher income families and children from lower income families. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that the summer learning gap is really an opportunity gap. The children from different social economic backgrounds have different opportunities. During the school year, the opportunities are more similar, but over the summer, differences in access to these learning experiences are particularly clear, and that's how we see the change that you may observe. I think it's a little bit clearer on the reading achievement gap in here, but the reading level is the orange level, and you can see in the darker orange sections, that's during the school year. And in general, all children are improving in their reading. Individually, it may be at different levels, but over the course of the school year, their reading level improves all the way through elementary school. But over the summer, and that's the light orange part of the graph, it declines, so that each year they're starting the school year higher than they were the previous year at the beginning of the school year, but lower than they were at the end of the school year. And that's because their reading achievement declined for students that come from lower socioeconomic groups. But children who come from middle class to higher economic groups show a less steep improvement over the summer. They're not learning as much. They're not improving as much in their reading achievement, but it is still continuing to improve, so that even at the next school year, they're starting a little bit higher than they were at the previous one because they did some reading and they had some learning experiences over the summer that helped them improve. What happens as the children grow, and we proceed from the left to the right side of the graph here, that gap is getting wider and wider and wider each year because students are falling further and further behind. And when you realize that this is the result of a gap in opportunities for children of different socioeconomic classes, then we can see how providing high quality summer experiences really just about providing an equal or an equitable experience for all the children in our community. And it benefits everyone for these children to have early interventions early in elementary school so that the gap doesn't get too great, to provide them with enriching experiences that some parents are able to pay for their children and others aren't. So one of the critical things is to recognize that the gap is not in the children themselves. It's not that they have less ability to read. They may struggle more, some children, but overall as a group, there's not significant differences, but they have less opportunity to continue to grow and develop that skill over the summer. So that's where summer programs can really make a difference at the local community level for individuals and for students as a group or as a body. Now I want to talk a little bit about what unique opportunities summer programming can provide for students in the areas of STEAM or STEM. Summer offers a unique chance for students to engage in real-world science practices and mindsets and to do real STEM. Summer programs can engage them in discovering new ideas, give them the exhilarated feeling of developing their understanding of getting it, of accomplishing their goals, both big and small, and to understand the world that they inhabit, to give them the joy of learning, investigating, figuring things out. All of these things can be part of having more time in the summertime, more hours in the day to work together, to use those reasoning skills in their exploration. Some tips for summer STEM and STEAM activities to really help them contribute to their performance over the school year. It is important to promote teamwork, communication, problem solving, and creativity. Be explicit about these skills. Help students know that they're using them and that they're getting better at them, and help them see that those are skills that they can apply in the classroom as well. You can foster their engagement in these activities by thinking about their cultural context, their own personal interests and experiences, to make those connections, to be sensitive to individuals and to cultural groups, to help students face challenges and to make those as localized as possible. So addressing issues in your own community is a really good way to foster engagement in young people. And as you can see in the pictures here, summer programming that includes science can take a wide variety of forms and focuses. In the top picture, the children are creating their own drums. They're going to do some music creation. They're going to learn about sound waves. And they're even doing it in an outdoor environment. That's activity that could happen indoors, but one of the nice things about summer is you can take an activity like that outdoors as well. The middle one is a programming, a coding, and a robotics class. And a great opportunity to let children go in depth. Coding can sometimes take time, and it may be hard to fit it into your after-school program, but you can be more flexible with your time in the summer, and they can have the time to explore, to figure it out for themselves. The third image here is engaging children in animal science, but doing it with direct connection to the animals, to really be hands-on, to learn about that animal and how it fits into the environment, how it works, how it eats, how it needs to be cared for. All of those things can be hands-on and engaging in a summer program. So we want to foster engagement. We want to promote skills like teamwork and communication. It also is important to be student-centered, to be flexible in the summertime so that students can individualize their learning experience a little bit, can pursue their own interests, and can do it a little bit more at their own speed, that they don't have to stay step by step with everyone in the group in order to learn and reach their goals. It's also important in the summer to create a culture that embraces risk-taking, that can use lots of different types of risk-taking and help students see the connections between new experiences and new learning, and understand that taking a risk and sometimes failing is part of the learning experience. Again, you just have different opportunities to engage these things in the summer, and it's important to take advantage of those opportunities. But your summer program can't be successful unless you bring parents on board. And parents are part of that learning ecosystem in the summertime as well. And parents tend to be very protective of their children's time in the summer. They want their children to have fun, to take a break during the summer, to have things be different than they are in the school year. And that's important for students as well, because that break from the routine of school helps them be more prepared to engage in it again at the beginning of the next school year. So it is important to take a break and change the pace over the summer. And that's one of the things parents are very concerned about. They're also concerned that their students are successful. They worry about their students falling behind over the summer, and they recognize the need to take action. But that doesn't override their concern that their children have fun in the summer as well. So think about how you can help parents balance those concerns, and also be aware of some of the potential barriers that parents see about enrolling their children in summer learning programs. Is the location convenient and accessible for them? Or can they provide transportation, or is there transportation available? Do the hours that the program operates fit with the hours that parents are able to get to their children to the program? You know, is the program starting at 10 o'clock when most parents are going to work at 7:30 or 8 o'clock? Many parents struggle with these concerns. They also worry about whether their children are safe, and they want to know the program is prepared to keep children safe over the summer as they're providing them with all these different opportunities. It's also important to recognize, particularly parents from lower socioeconomic groups, may not make decisions about their summer plans until April or May, or sometimes even into June. And sometimes that's a financial concern. They may not know whether they have the finances available to enroll children in programs until closer to the program time. And sometimes it's because they don't have awareness of what is available in the community. So now is not too late to be talking to families and letting them know the benefits of participating in summer programming and how accessible it is to them. Now let's do a little bit more look at this landscape. We talked about the role of parents in this landscape. We talked about the types of activities that you can provide in your program. Now we're going to look at what more of the typologies, the different programs and how they're structured. Many summer programs are organized around themes, and they plan activities, field trips, and events related to themes. Sometimes books or movies or other resources are part of planning those themes. If you fit into this part of the landscape where you're using a theme to organize your program, be creative about that, and also be flexible so that students can offer their own input into how they want to explore the theme and what their interests are. There are lots of different ways to do this. There are great curriculum resources that are theme-based from organizations like NASA, or from science museums and science centers. I just shared a link in the chat box of 100 summer camp themes that might help give you a little bit more creativity in your program. But make it fun and be flexible with your themes. Longer days also make it possible to have a different pace in your summer program. So you can involve students more actively, get them out into the community. Field trips can be a real important part of a summer program. Visit your community, visit local businesses, colleges, universities, parks, police, fire departments, factories. Look for businesses or restaurants that provide behind-the-scenes tours for students. Local tourist attractions are another place you can drop in with your students. One of my favorite jobs in college was the 3 years that I planned a summer learning program. And we used weekly themes, and we had field trips related to themes. I learned a lot about our community as I was planning different places that we could go visit, and also figuring out how we could use public transportation to get there, because we didn't have a van or our own transportation for the organization that was providing the program. So we learned a lot about how far elementary age kids are able to walk and how fast they're going to get there. But we had a great time exploring our community, and sometimes just using public transportation in new ways to get to where they wanted to go was an experience in and of itself for the students. So take a chance to do those sorts of things and get out in your community, build those connections. The other thing you can do in a summer program is bring your community into your program. Invite professionals to explain and demonstrate their area of expertise. Parents are a good source for professionals and experts to come into your community and to teach the children new skills. Other like craft stores or sewing stores is another possible community partner. Engineers, dancers, police, all kinds of professionals, nurses, lawyers, dentists, artists, computer programmers, all can bring some real interesting experiences into your program. And when you can coordinate those experiences with hands-on activities and learning experiences, then you can really help the children learn and have fun at the same time. The art activity pictured here is a math-related activity on tessellations that brings together that art and science. Dance is another way to bring together art and science and movement and health. All of these things can provide new and creative experiences as part of your program. Another way to the summer programs are organized is around a workshop model. Workshops provide a lot of different learning experiences, and they can vary in length. They can be a one-day workshop or a half-day workshop, even a 2-hour workshop, or it can be a week-long workshop where you have a series of different experiences. It's nice to be able to provide that variety. Not all families are looking to have a program that lasts over the whole summer, and being able to drop in to a program that changes week by week can really meet family needs. Some workshop examples that you might want to consider: robotics, sewing, dancing, karate, music, gardening, or nutrition. They're all great ways to get students active, to encourage them to explore new skills, and to do it through hands-on activity that's going to help them build learning skills and practice their reading, their math, as they're doing something that's really important to them. Look for community partners that can be part of your workshops. Libraries, senior volunteer programs are a rich resource for expertise. Your county extension office also can bring in new resources. This image here is a group of young people that just finished a workshop at their county extension office where they learned about how plants grow. They painted the pot that they put their plant in, and then they planted it themselves. So there's a little bit of art, a little bit of science in there, and lots of hands-on fun in that workshop. Understanding the wide variety of programs that are available in your community and the needs that they fill can help you identify what gaps are there and think about whether there are particular gaps your program can support. It'll also help you present a clear message to parents about the benefits of your own program if you have a good understanding of the landscape in your community. And don't forget the summer programs with less of an emphasis on learning are also part of this landscape. Sports camps, programs offered by child care centers, universities, libraries, high schools that offer sports-related summer programs are all part of this landscape. Outdoor programs is another piece to remember. Parks, nature centers, camps, scout centers, all have programs that tend to emphasize outdoor activities. Some of those offer the same sort of art or STEM activities that can be done indoors. You just put them outdoors, like the workshop where the children were making their own drums. But they also can incorporate learning experiences that are specific to the outdoors, exploring a local waterway, or even just reading to a llama is a way to bring the outdoors into that experience in a different way. Finally, regardless of the type of program you have and where it fits into this landscape, staffing is going to be a primary concern. And we want to encourage you to plan time for training, planning, and meeting with your staff before and during the summer program. The Click the Science PD Toolkit, Click the Science Summer Programming PD Toolkit has resources for face-to-face and online training for staff. And I will share a link to that with you in the chat box. That's a great place to go, specifically looking at resources to help your staff prepare for summer learning. The other resources I wanted to share with you here are from our partner at Better Kid Care. They have some new resources that I think might be particularly useful to you as you're getting ready to start your summer program. They have a 7-hour online orientation course for new staff that covers the nuts and bolts of working in school-age programming that is appropriate for summer or after school. I haven't taken the course myself, but I think it's worth taking a look at to see if that would be something that would help you prepare your staff, and doing it as an online course. That flexibility may be useful if you're having trouble getting everybody together for as much time as you'd like to have them face-to-face together. Better Kid Care also has 5 2-hour modules that focus on positive youth development for children in grades kindergarten through 12. And they will help your staff better understand children and how to support their development. And that's an area that summer staff often struggle with. So I wanted to let you know that those are available. And the first link on this slide is the place to go to find those. But there's also Click the Science online lessons that may be particularly useful for summer staff, like preparing yourself to facilitate STEM and asking purposeful questions. So I encourage you to consider those and see if that would help you meet your needs for training staff and preparing them for summer programming. Just 2 more resources I wanted to share that can help you with your summer planning. One is the Ultimate Guide to Planning Your Summer Learning Program from Extended Ed. And there's a link there to that. And also the Wallace Foundation's National Summer Learning Project is another one you might want to look at, as well as the National Summer Learning Association. I should have included that on this slide as well. All of those have resources designed to help you build a summer program. The Wallace Foundation has tools, advice, and resources, particularly about recruiting and getting that messaging right to families and participants. So that may be worth an extra look as well. So finally, I want to thank you for joining us today and for taking time to see what is out there in the landscape of summer learning programs. I encourage you to connect with Click the Science, and if you haven't been to our website recently to see what's new and different there, and also be sure you're registered for our monthly newsletter, because we are going to be taking a little bit of a break over the summer and not have quite as many webinars. So being connected to that newsletter will help you know what is happening and what's coming up. If you're not getting that newsletter already, go to the website and take a moment to register for it. Then you'll be sure that you won't miss anything coming up over the summer. Good luck in planning your summer program. I'm going to end the recording now, but if you have any questions